Aloha artists, Miss Maggie here. So excited to make art again with you this week. This week we are going to create self-portraits. Self-portraits are when you draw a picture of yourselves. Artists around the world have drawn and painted pictures where the focal point, the main subject of the artwork is a person. So many beautiful drawings and paintings have been created in this way. And sometimes the artist makes a portrait of themselves. It's a picture that shows us what the artist looks like and tells us about who they are. So that is what you are going to create today. Here's the supplies that we are going to need. Okay, artists, for our self-portraits today, we're going to need some supplies. First of all, you're going to need a piece of small drawing paper from your art packet. Make sure it's the smoother one and it's the small size. So, you're also going to need a pencil and an eraser. You might want an eraser bigger than what's on the back of your pencil. And then, well, you might need a Sharpie today. Have one handy just in case. If you don't have one, you'll be all right, but it might be useful. And you're also going to need a mirror. Now, you don't have to go and get a mirror. If you've got a mirror in your bathroom, that'll be just fine. If you have a little handheld mirror, that would work too. And the last thing you're going to need is some sort of art supplies for coloring your portrait. You are going to pick a type of art supplies that you have around the house, whatever you have, that can express who you are, that you can use that art supply to express your personality. Are you someone who taking some paint and splashing it all over the place is how you would express yourself? Are you someone who would do fine pencil shading and putting in little details and shading and design everywhere? Because that is who you are. Maybe it's markers that make sense. We're going to talk about how to create a beautiful work of art, whatever your choice in art supplies. But you don't have to pick yet. You can just think on it, because first we're going to get to drawing. So make sure that you've got your small drawing paper, pencil, eraser, Sharpie, and a mirror somewhere available to you, and we're gonna get going. Whenever we go to draw, we want to make sure that we're drawing carefully. We want to stop and think. And there's 3 questions we can ask ourselves that will help us stop and think. First of all, where on the paper am I going to make my next mark? Where am I going to start my drawing? 2, what line am I going to make? Is it a curvy line? Is it a certain shape? How is that mark going to go? You can even practice in the air ahead of time. 3, what size is this mark going to be? For instance, if I'm going to draw the oval of my face, if I draw my face too small to start off with or too large, that's going to affect how the rest of the artwork goes. So that's how we can stop and think during our drawings. Anytime we're going to draw realistically, it helps to look at the real thing. That's why you need a mirror. And so I went into the bathroom and I looked closely. I traced all the lines that I saw on my face. I looked at the shape of my eyes and notice, are they circles? Are they ovals? Oh, I think they're kind of almond shaped. I looked at my eyebrows. I looked at what sort of lines make up my nose. Noses are interesting. Look at the lines that you see, and you're going to trace them with a finger. Notice your mouth. How does it change when you smile? Trace the lines that you see in that. And then the shape of your face, the shape of your hair. Can you see your ears? Some people's hair covers their ears. Sometimes mine does. And the shape of my neck coming down. It comes right down kind of from the sides, edges of my eyes going down. So I'm noticing all that so I can think about that when I am drawing. Now it's your turn. Go look in the mirror and practice finding the lines that express what you look like. Find the details that make you, you, both on the outside and on the inside too. So are you back from looking at your fantastic selves in the mirror? Let's get drawing. So I'm going to draw faces for you today from 2 different angles. That way you can pick which one you're interested in drawing. Or you could try them both if you want. But one of these is going to be straight on, and one of these is going to be 3/4. So if you're excited for something new for your self-portrait, try it that way. But first of all, I want to think about how my skull is made. Because my skull, my head, isn't really just an oval. That's how you've been doing it for many years. But let's level up. I'm going to do my head in 2 parts. One is going to be the main skull, and second is going to be the jaw. So the way I start with this is an oval that is sideways. So I'm thinking, where am I going to put it? I'm going to be putting it near the top of the paper. It's going to have a little bit of space on both sides, and it's definitely a sideways oval. I'm going to start both ways the same. And do you see how my oval, I'm sort of sketching out that oval, going around a couple times. I'll choose which line I like the best over time. Doesn't have to be perfect right off. These are guidelines. Now, next, this one is going to be looking straight forward. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle, and I'm going to use my finger to measure from the top of the head to there, down, and that's where that line is going to stop. So the bottom part and the top part are going to be the same size. And I'm going to draw a line down to that spot and back up. There we go. Now, this person's going to be looking that way. They've got a chin then that's going to be over here more. And so I'm going to take again from up here down, but you know what? I'm going to have the chin be like over here. So I just found where the chin's going to be. Again, same length of that down, and then choose how far over I want the chin to be. So I'm going to do a curve down to that and a curve to the back of the head. There we go. And this line is going to be from the top of the head to the chin there. Okay, now I have some guidelines built in. Now we have our brain and we have our jaw. And so right here is the middle of our head. I'm going to draw a little guideline there to help. And this is where our eyes are going to go. They're going to go right here and right here. My eyes are almond shaped. Put in the shape of eyes that you have. And it's about the same distance between the eyes as there is the sides of your eyes. I don't feel like mine is quite perfect yet. Even me, some mornings I feel like I can draw better than others. And it's going to look more real if I put the pupils in now. And at this stage of the drawing, I don't erase anything unless the line is really bugging me and I'm just getting in the way of everything. So see, now I've got a person looking that way. Let's try this person out. So this person, the eyes are going to be looking sideways. They're going to be right there on that line, and they're going to be like carrots, looking that way, and then over here on the line 2, looking that way. And so I've got that shape, and then a curve there, and then the eyes are looking that way. And again, if you're doing this way, think about the shapes of your eyes. What makes your eyes look like you? And so I've got the eyeballs. They're looking in different directions. And next, I'm going to put in the eyebrows. Eyebrows are very underrated. They're quite important. Eyebrows start up above the eyes. Put in the type of eyebrows you have. I'm just sort of sketching mine in for now. Eyebrows over here as well, same thing. And why eyebrows are so important? They help us do the nose. If you look at your face, it's hard to find what are the lines that come down from your nose, but really, they kind of connect up to your eyebrows. So, if I take a line going down like this, and then I put in my nostrils, I've got a nose. Think about what shapes make your nose look like you. So this one, I'm going to have it come down. It's going this way. And we're seeing the side of the nose. So I've got a nostril and then that one there. There we go. Now, how far down did my nose go? Everyone's faces are a little bit different, but it's about as much as your eyebrow and eyes goes down below your eyes. So as much as that goes down to there. Next, I'm going to split this last part in the middle, and I'm going to put in my mouth. Decide what shapes make your mouth based on what you saw in the mirror. And for my person looking this way, their mouth is going to be a different shape because they're on the side. There we go. Mine ended up a little off here. But you know what I'm going to do? Sometimes I do this. I just go, you know what? That was too much chin there. Look what I did. I just fixed the chin. There we go. I like that so much better. And I know that looks like a lot of head there, back there. But you know what? We actually have a lot of skull behind us that we don't think about because we can't see it. Next, we've got ears. Ears are in line with the eyes, right along there and here, right along that line too. Got that? And I've got necks coming down from below the ears. Got my neck coming down from below the ears. And here I've got right below the ear and then under the chin and shoulders. There we go. Hair? You're saying we need some hair on these people? Yes, I think so. Because neither of them look like me yet. I think this one is going to end up being me. I've got hair coming down like that. Think of hair as a shape that is sitting on and overlapping your head. We'll add texture later. Think about hair like a shape that is sitting on your head, whether you've got short hair or long hair. Think about it as being a little bit bigger than your head and covering some of your head. And maybe it covers your ears, maybe it doesn't. And then later, when you color it, you can think about the texture that's inside of it. So now I'm going to erase the lines that I don't need. All the lines that are in the way, all the lines that were just guidelines, I'm letting those ones go away. And I'm going to give some close. And I'm going to look at my portrait and go, what is missing? What do I want to fix a little bit? For instance, I notice the eyes. If I color that part in, well, I might color it in with a different art supply. But coloring the eyes in does definitely help them look a little bit more alive. Putting a little bit of shading in there, adjusting those lines, making the lines that are sketchy turn into the lines that I want to keep. There we go. Same thing over here, a little bit of an eyelid. See how he's starting to come to? See how he's starting to become alive? So, here are my 2 portraits that I did. I thought about where, what line, and what size as I did them, even making adjustments as I went. Now, you get to decide what sort of art supply you're going to use to color your self-portrait. So now that you're ready to color, I want you to look at the art supplies that you have available at home and see which of those do you think you can best choose to create a self-portrait that expresses who you are. You get to pick and decide how to express yourself in this way. I think that I am going to use watercolor, and I have my self-portrait here. I use Sharpie to go over all the lines, and then I erased all the pencil lines. This is going to make it nice and bold. If you are doing color pencil or maybe some very careful pencil shading, then Sharpie might not be the right choice, but it's a good one for many things. Now, whatever art supply you're going to do, you need to think about what quality coloring looks like. All art supplies are different, so you need to think about yours. Flip over your paper and with your pencil, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now, I'd like you to come up with at least 3 ways that you are going to show careful coloring with the art supply of your choice. Do that now. So, do you have at least 3 ways that you're going to show careful coloring? Make sure that you wrote them down. But also, I have 3 more I'd like you to look at, and maybe these are useful for you to add to your list. That's why we wrote to 5. You might even add it up to 6. So, first of all, I'd like you to make sure that we can see the main details, the parts that show us who you are. They've got to still show up. 2, think about the direction of coloring, whether it's a pencil or a brush or anything. Whatever art supply you use, pay attention to the direction. Because if you are shading and you go different directions, it looks like a scribble. If you are painting and you go all over the place, it also starts to become a mess. And then finally, make sure that it is filled in. Now, if the whites of your eyes are still white, I get it. But if your shirt and the background and your hair and other things are all still white, that's not finished being colored. And so make it a beautiful piece where we can see the main details, the direction of coloring, and that it's all filled in. If these aren't on your list of ways that you're going to show careful coloring, add those now. So I have my self-portrait here, and I am going to use my watercolor set, and I'm looking for my little paintbrush. And I'm going to use my watercolors. So I am going to need water and a napkin if I do that. But like I said, use the art supply that you think expresses who you are. I'm going to go a bit wild and bold with my colors on this one. But I am going to make sure that the main details show up. That is why I used Sharpie. And I'm thinking about the direction of my brush strokes. And I'm working just on drawing paper, and if I do watercolor without too much water, it still kind of works. So, making sure that my paint is not too thick and thinking about the direction. And I know my hair's not really red. I'm playing with color a bit today. That's what I felt like for my personality showing up in my art. I love color. And so I've got that. I'm going to put some yellow in because I do want to fill in the art. Remember that was number 3, to fill it in. Ooh, I like where the colors overlap there. I like that yellow over the red. Now, if I had colored pencils or oil pastels or crayons, I could be playing with the same colors. There we go. Ooh, I like it so far. Now, I think I am going to make my eyes brown. I'm going to make that part realistic. Drop the color in there. Ooh, too much water. That's one thing with watercolor is that you want to make sure that you put the right amount of water down and paint. And then for my skin, I think I'm going to be kind of orange, but not exactly orange. Because orange is skin color can be a little wild. Ooh, see how it is important to think about the direction here? Those strokes are showing up on the paper because this is actually drawing paper. We're going to save our watercolor for another time. I hope yours are coming out wonderfully, even though I'm sure that they are very different. Put a little bit of red, pink in there. This is going to get interesting here. I'm going careful and slow. And thinking about how I want to do that color. And I want some blue though in here. I'm going to do, I love blue and orange together. They're one of my favorite color combinations. I'm not really much of one for having a favorite color. I have favorite color combinations. And blue and orange is one of them. Not so much when they mix, but they're going over each other. That's okay. Ooh, finding things that I like here. And I'm going to put that blue, too much water, in the shirt too. So I'm making sure that my strokes Ooh, they're getting a little uneven there. Let me even them out. See how my brush is going stroke, stroke, stroke. If you're doing oil pastels, if you're doing colored pencils, if you're doing regular pencils, show that you are going in one direction. If you want to show off something wild about your personality, still remember that your picture is going to come together when you pay attention to the strokes that you choose. I'm picking a wild color, but I am putting it down in a way that I have control. I think that's coming together. I'm going to put some red on the lips. I don't usually make my lips that red, but I think that looks good. And I think my forehead is going to be yellow today, since I am not going realistic today. A lot of days I go realistic, but today I'm going expressive. You pick what works for you for expressing yourself. Ooh, I like this. I like having more yellow in there. We're going to be yellow and bright and sunny today. Yes! This is expressing how I feel. It's a beautiful day, and it's all about that feeling of warmth and sunshine. And so outside of me, I need to color the background. And I'm going to add more yellow, but not just yellow. I think I need some blue there too. I'll put that blue that's in the shirt back here to create contrast. Because remember, we're filling everything in. I can't wait to see what yours looks like. The video right underneath this one is all about how to document your artwork, because we are going to be sharing our artwork back with our classes. And so that way I can see what yours looks like, and so can your teacher. And we can put these together to express our whole grade level. And that way we can come together and create a sense of community. I think mine is done. Did I show the main details? I think I did. Did I pay attention to the direction of my coloring? I did. And did I fill in basically everything? I left the eyeballs white, and I think I colored everywhere. I'm double checking if there's anywhere that I missed along the edges. Double checking there. Great. And so when I stop and I look at my painting and I go, what part do I like the best? And are there some parts that I could use a little bit more? See if your piece could use a little bit more right now. There's always something. I think maybe a little purple in the shirt. Yeah. Ooh, I like that purple there. I like it. Okay. And now it is time for your reflection question. Your question is this.
I'd love to know, what does your choice of art supplies and the choices you made while coloring your self-portrait express about who you are? Below is an example of how you might answer it.
Now that your piece is done, make sure that you take all of your art supplies, whatever you used, and clean it up. Make it look nice and beautiful the way it did when you started. Whatever art supply you used, put it back. the way it was. Make sure that your learning space is back to normal. And watch the video underneath this one to find out how to photograph your artwork so that you can turn it in to your teacher. Okay, can't wait to make more art with you next time. A hui ho!